Okay, welcome back to Point Blank. Earlier on, I had the opportunity to meet Geraldine Time, a psychologist at the Center for Effective Living at Camden Medical Center. Let's see what she has to say. Okay, I'm here with Miss Geraldine Tan. She's a psychologist for the Center of Effective Living. So, Miss Tan, tell us a bit about how you felt when you watched the videos.
Okay, it's not uncommon, especially in the tertiary educations and even the university level. And as far back, I think many years ago, in the military, there was also such events happening. And so it's really not uncommon.
Why do you think a lot of Singaporeans are very unsettled by, all this? There's a lot of backlash, a lot of feedback. So why do you think this is so?
I guess as an onlooker, when you're looking at the whole process of it, you feel for the victim. You feel uncomfortable with what is being done onto the person that is involved. And because you feel injustice. So the sense of injustice by the onlookers raises a lot of alarms, raises a lot of worries and queries about it.
What's the mentality behind such practices?
Well, in the past is to feel power, to feel that in order for you to come into my exclusive group, you have to perform certain ritual.
Initial rites.
Yeah. So it's a lot of ritualistic behavior. So if you see most of the bullying, it's not really bullying. This type of talking or ragging is kind of similar. Because there's so much boundaries, they find it thrilling to go around the system. Yeah. So you cannot, for example, not wear underwear, for example, but in some secondary schools, what they do is they have a group of students to surround the kid, surround the victim, and they strip the fella.
Yeah. Why is this? Why do they strip him?
They think it's fun. Other people have done it before, so the ritualistic thing, other people have done it before. If you don't do, you're a chicken, you're a coward. Hormones are raging at that point in time. They are trying to find a sense of self. So generally the victim won't say no. They'll say, I don't want, and try to hide. But they will not violently object for fear of being an outcast. Emotionally, when something is being done to you that is quite extreme and everybody gets to see it, you allow yourself to be vulnerable and therefore you bond with the other person. So bond in a very warped sense, but you do bond, everybody has seen me, okay so whatever you have, I have, we are on equal standing. So
no inhibitions at all, right?
No. Yeah, but in terms of, let's say, a more structured setting, okay, where it's top down, I command you to do that, or I do it to you, it's probably the person wanting to feel power, and not so much of equality. And in those instances, the victim would probably be quite traumatized. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, does occur during those instances because it is almost tantamount to an abuse.
Yes. So I was sort of reading a bit about it, and they were saying that part of the effects of those that are in power abusing those that are not in power is there's a Stockholm Syndrome where there's a reverse of how somebody who has been abused actually grows to you want to explain a bit about that?
It's like in today's paper, the two daughters that were raped by the father. I mean, it is a to the onlookers, to people around, it is something that is very unthinkable, that is very disgusting. But at that point in time, the initial part, the daughters actually, and even after the father is placed in jail, they're going to feel a lot of not only trauma to what he has done to them for them, but also guilt, which is what you're explaining. I feel for the person, although he has done all these mean things to me.
Up till now, we've been talking about how the victim might have felt. But how about the person who actually does it? Does it have any implications?
If everything goes well, if there's no injury, everybody has fun. You know, the person that is carrying out, or the group that is carrying out the activity will still continue to do the activity because it's funny, it's fun. It's how they gel together, how they bond together. That's an activity that they do together, something in common, although it's very silly, but they do it. But if there is something that had happened before, then the whole group would feel guilt. The whole
like
group,
a bad turn where something bad happens.
So for example, many years ago in NUS, what happened was the whole group of guys went to Taupok. So Taupok is one under, and everybody just falls over the person. And they didn't jump carefully.
Okay.
And one of them, I think the second one, so the one at the bottom was okay because you had the cushion of the mattress.
Yep.
It's the second one that was on top of the person right at the bottom, and everybody else jumped onto the back of the person. And the guy broke his back. The whole group, because it was actually seniors that have gone through it, they felt very guilty, and nobody really spoke about it.
Okay, it's like a shameful past kind of thing.
Yeah. So the guy has to live with it, and the group has to live with the guilt.
Yeah.
The guy lives with the physical immobility and pain. The rest of the people, obviously, they didn't do it anymore lah. But of course, the next generation comes and the next generation does it again.
Oh, but do you think it should be illegal?
I think in Singapore, we are a little bit more conservative. We are a little bit more restrained. And even whatever that, this taupoking or ragging is rather mild. Of course, there's the more extreme ones, which is something like putting the frog into the microwave and exploding it, just microwaving the frog, just as a part of the hostel orientation program and everything. So anything that has to do with cruelty to another person,
or another thing,
or something, I think do need some guidelines.
Okay.
Yeah, but not to the extent of being illegal.
One other question, like I was speaking to some poly people, like from polytechnics, and some from JC. The ones that are wearing uniform, like the JC kids, are more often than not involved in hazing or ragging and all that. Whereas the ones in poly who wear their own clothes and all that, they are more independent, or they don't think that it's an accepted form of bonding with somebody else. I'm not sure whether this is just unique to the people that I spoke to, but what do you think?
By the time they come out into a tertiary education, in the polys, there's less already. Because if we talk about learning how to bond, having self-identity, wanting to be part of the group, hormones raging, by that time they're quite settled. Yeah, but in a secondary school setting, they have all these, trying to find their own identity and everything. Yeah, especially the hormones part. The difference is, and there is a difference between the JC students and the poly students, are that JC students are still classified under the secondary school education. Poly and university are tertiary education.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you look at the poly students, they know what they want. They know what they're working for. They have specific goals. Most of them have specific goals, not all of them. But in JC, you're still riding along with the flow. You haven't really moved out of that secondary school
phase,
frame of mind yet.
Okay.
Until you go into the university or you go into NS,
Very interesting insights. Thank you, Geraldine.
No worries, glad to help.
That's right. What do you guys think of the video? Help me. You're saying that JC people, how is it like in JC?
Well, I don't know what it's like in ACJC, but in VJC where I was at, people are pretty restrained and pretty much behave themselves.
Yeah.
So that's why I've never been hazed.
Well, was it very competitive? I mean, were they sort of more childlike as compared to other people around the age who were in poly?
No, I think my JC comprised of nerds, and everybody was serious about studying and very competitive.
That's why you never got
when it comes to
hazed,
grades.
because they were nerds.
Everybody was comparing grades and like studying most of the time and trying to outperform each other when it comes to studies.
So no hazing incidents at all.
Very few.
Very few.
Of course, times might have changed since I was last there.
Oh.
Okay, Ishin, it happens a lot from where
We're from.
where we're from. So okay, tell us a bit about like were the people childish? Yes, childish. You can just tell on them right now.
I mean, if
You just look in the mirror.
Alright, Daryl.
I mean, at that point, you're only 16 years old.
Yeah.
You have to remember that when you go to JC, 16, 17,
17.
going on to 18. So in some senses, I think you still are a bit childish,
Yeah.
and it's just part and parcel of JC life, I think.
Okay, but looking at the video, the one with the girl being ragged and all that, do you think that went too far?
I think that went a bit too far. I don't think there was any need to tie her up, and more.
Never seen a woman tied?
No.
Really?
I don't know what you've been doing. Tell me that. Sorry, I don't know. I haven't had the. I don't know whether it's privilege.
Privilege, I almost heard that.
I was about to say privilege, but
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, and I think the other thing that was really, like I said before about just posting stuff on the internet. I think that's, maybe that's uncalled for.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I hate to say it, but we live in an internet age, and we know what's going on in the rest of the world. It used to be that we will watch the news and we would know how the world is interpreted by the media of other countries. But now, when people put their videos on the net, we know what people are doing in France or in Turkey or in Britain.
Yeah.
And I think kids are the most internet savvy of all of us, and they see.
Yeah, I think it's smiling because she is.
Oh no!
She's taking
What do you mean,
pleasure in the
internet?
fact that she's younger than all of us.
So we're being influenced by all these,
Yeah.
all the stuff that we're seeing around us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, I have a question for a professional ragger.
Daryl.
Okay, well,
You wanna
do
take this one?
guys rag girls and girls rag guys, or is it just the same gender ragging each
I
other?
think no, because like as far as I know, I've always ragged on like guys. Like we'll pick on guys that like somehow. There's
Happen to
one,
be born on that day.
Yeah, on that day, or happen to be at the wrong spot on that day, and we're just like, we'll just.
Or the Joker.
But
Yeah,
if
just
you're
hit him,
but if you're in a co-ed school and your classmate who is a girl happens to have a birthday, you don't rag her.
Yeah.
No, I think
No, for fear of
Girl-
being charged. Yeah.
But is it the other way around? Do girls rag guys as well?
not
No.
really.
How?
I don't know. You can gang up and then like claw at him or something.
There's some very big sized girls around. There's some very big sized girls that.
And claw at him. I think you might enjoy it.
I think part of
Yeah,
the
you could.
childishness lies in the fact that girls go to girls and boys go to boys,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Maybe.
you're right.
Yeah.
Especially in Singapore, I think people,
Yeah.
like
It's more
the psychologist said,
more
that we're
conservative.
more conservative and we're
Yeah.
more restrained. And then we watch ourselves. So guys probably think that they have a better gauge of how the guys would react if we were to rag them, and how far can we go. And girls also know when they do it on another girl.
I think
guessing.
Ishin and I were talking about it just now, and we were thinking we were saying that an AC is actually more of a culture thing, like it's kind of accepted because like from guy school to a guy school, then suddenly a co-ed school, then I don't know how it works though, but I just think it's.
I think maybe from people who don't understand, or who haven't experienced it, and they just see it for the first time.
Yeah, they might
they
be
get shocked.
Yeah.
They think instantly that's bullying, and I think bullying is something very different.
Yeah.
Okay, have you been bullied before?
Yes, all the time.
But you've not
So you've
been
never been
ragged.
ragged, but you've been
But-
bullied.
Yeah,
so
you have
see,
been ragged.
It's almost
that's
the
When
same
I was
thing.
in primary school, I was beaten up
don't
maybe twice or 3 times.
A day?
No, because
over 6 years.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
definitely.
refuse to let people copy your homework. Is that why?
Oh, I bet he's got
No,
the
I
divine
was-
face.
I was a very good boy in school,
Yeah.
and I remember like during awards presentation, I would get like first in English and maths.
Yeah.
So they beat you up for being smart.
Yeah, Then I was beaten up in primary 1 and primary 3, I think, twice. After the award ceremony.
Okay, I've never been actually like I've been ragged, as in like people have like jumped on me, they have slapped me and all that, but I've never been bullied like 1-to-1. Like it's never been like, you know, hey you, give me your money.
Lunch money.
But
But
you know,
more-
yeah. I gotta say, like, you grow out of it and
Yeah,
you
you
don't
do.
become bitter because of it.
No, it's true.
I mean, like, I think I'm a fairly well balanced adult, and
That's debatable, but okay.
Nicola,
I don't hold a grudge
debatable.
against anybody because of
Yeah.
it. You know, just see it as part and parcel
Yeah,
of life.
exactly. Yeah.
okay, according to Mrs. Calvina Chan, who is the principal of ACJC currently, she refers to the article put up by Stomper regarding a birthday celebration of an ACJC student. And she says that the college is aware of the incident, which was a birthday celebration of a student who was popular with her peers. She understands that the student was prepared for the celebration and there was no malice or bullying involved. And when a teacher saw the celebration, he immediately stopped it and counseled the students. The birthday girl also assured the teacher that she was not hurt physically nor emotionally. And some weeks after the event, a teacher again inquired about the girl's well-being, and she assured the teacher that she was all good. The activity was done in good humor, and the college has counseled students involved on the possible hazards of such activities. Okay, I think that's a case where, like, you know, maybe it's part of the culture, but it's not really bullying.
Okay.
You know,
I just want to say that I am so glad that the principal didn't give a knee-jerk reaction of saying that, oh, it's terrible, we've put a stop to it and we think
Yeah.
it's awful and blah, blah, blah. Instead, she gave a very measured response saying that it was all done in good humor. And
Yeah.
obviously, this principal knows that it happens between kids, between students, and that it's okay and that it's probably part and parcel of growing up, and that she didn't, you know, I know that on the internet there's a lot of like
Yeah.
hoo-ha and negative reaction towards it, but she didn't sort of bend to the pressure of saying something, you know, negative about it.
okay.
I think it's interesting that she mentioned that the girl was popular, you know, with her peers, which ties back to what we were talking about, that popular people get ragged and, you know, other people get
Unpopular
bullied.
people
Yeah,
get bullied.
unpopular people get
It's
bullied
true,
or
I'm
ignored.
incredibly
2-3
unpopular.
times a day.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's popular and she gets ragged, but the thing is, they've all accepted it
Yeah.
as, you know, part and parcel of their culture. So it's okay.
Okay, we're gonna go for another short rag session, but when we come back, we're actually gonna find out
You're breathing.
the
okay.
reactions from the people on the ground, and also explore some cases where people have actually been severely injured.